often discuss and talk about the horrendous and horrible loss that Hillary Clinton had in the 2016 election cycle, which was looking like almost a given to win against Donald Trump, who had one of the worst, lowest disapproval ratings in history of any presidential candidate, right? So they both had disapproval ratings, but Trump was like a good chunk worse. But, you know, and I'm going to make my case here because this is a study that proves what, you know, some of the progressives' talking points in terms of, you know, how you would always see those ads and it'd be these, like, really cringy, like, or there's, like, these little 4-year-olds watching. Why would a 4-year-old be watching a presidential debate? I don't know about you. When I was 4, I didn't give a fuck about any of that. I was playing games, I was talking to friends, I was doing anything but that. In fact, I didn't know anything about it when I was 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever. It started to grow a little when I was 8, but, you know, not really that much. But anyways, and then they would be like, oh, and they'd be like, kind of like watching, and it'd be like this sad music, and it'd be like Trump saying a bad word or something, as if this is like the end of times and whatnot. And this was really what the doom was for the left completely. And I have some evidence to prove it to you guys here. So there's this study done by Wesleyan Media Project, and this is a Vox article. They say, study Hillary Clinton's TV ads were almost entirely policy-free. Okay, so here's what they say. Hillary Clinton's campaign ran TV ads that had less to do with policy than any other presidential candidate in the past 4 presidential races. The past 4. According to a new study published on Monday by the Wesleyan Media Project, Clinton's team spent a whopping $1 billion on the election in all, about twice what Donald Trump's campaign spent. And also keep in mind, she used a lot of TV ads instead of what Trump did. A lot of what Trump did was YouTube ads, Vine ads, Snapchat ads. I don't know if there are Snapchat ads, but video ads. But all these different types of video ads across social media, and I've seen a lot of those ads myself. But one of them was actually kind of funny, but we're not going to get into that here. Let's see. Clinton spent $72 million on television ads in the final weeks alone, but only 25% of advertising supporting her campaign went after Trump on policy grounds, the researchers found. By comparison, every other presidential candidate going back to at least 2000 devoted more than 40% of his or her advertising to policy-based attacks. None spent nearly as much time going after an opponent's personality as Clinton's ads did. So they have like this little bar thing here. So for Bush v. Gore in 2000, Bush's had let's see, about 70%, 73, 74, 75% on policy, and then the rest of it was both, which is like, you know, whatever, 27%. And then Gore had like 62% policy, and then the rest was both. And then, you know, yada yada. Kerry had a lot of attacks on policy. Then the next one, Obama. See, this is an interesting trend, okay? Obama's wins had featured a lot of policy attacks, although Romney did more attacks on him than that. But Trump did a lot more policy-based attacks on Clinton than Clinton did, and this is the evidence to prove it. So here, Trump in 2016 had about 72% policy-based, and then there was like a good chunk, it's like 10% that's personal, and then the rest of it was both. For Clinton, however, it's only about 24% policy-based. And then, so a huge chunk of it was personal, okay? I mean, this is just utterly ridiculous. It's about like nearly 85% is actually just BS. This is ridiculous. And then the rest of it was both. So it's just disgusting here, guys. This is just horrible. So I don't know what to tell you guys. About 70% of it was personal. So here's what they say. Trump, who didn't exactly run as a wonk, aired a more typical number of policy-focused ads compared with past elections. As an example, the study notes his first big TV buy was for an ad called Two Americas, one that portrayed life under Clinton's immigration policies and one under Trump's. The Clinton world is pretty bleak. Trump is rosy. In all, factcheck.org gave it a so-so review, saying the claims were based on murky evidence and misrepresentations. So, I believe the fact check was on the ad itself, which is probably true. I would go on the side of it's probably BS, but I just want to let you guys know about this because it confirms our concerns and our beliefs and our assertions, moreover, and you can use this as a talking point when you're fucking battling a bunch of, Hillary bros and Hillary bots and whatever the hell you want to call them.